Hey there, Liana. Do you know who I am? Go on and guess.
Who are you?
Didn't you read my last message? I'm not gonna tell you. You gotta guess.
I gave you one chance to tell me who you are, which is more than you deserve. I'm very busy and have much more important things to do than play Guess Who with some random nobody.
Get over yourself. Just guess.
Looks like this is either a stupid prank or you've got the wrong number, so I'm just gonna block your number now.
Wait, don't do that. I've got something to tell you that I know you're gonna want to hear. My name is Alyssa, and I'm your husband's girlfriend.
Huh? By my husband, do you mean Jacob?
Yeah, that's him. Ugh, old women are so boring. I wanted to keep you in the dark for longer just to have a little fun at your expense, but you went and made me spill the beans too early. Boring. Do women just instantly become humorless losers when they turn 30 or something? I hope I never turn 30.
Leaving the dark implications of that aside, would you mind telling me how old you are, Alyssa?
Who, me? I'm 20. I am a college girl in the pinnacle of my youth.
The pinnacle of your youth?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Right. It's just that I've never actually heard anyone in the pinnacle of their youth use the term, the pinnacle of my youth, before.
Yeah, and so what? You got a problem with that?
Problem? Nah, no problem at all. You're free to use whatever phrases you like to describe yourself. That phrase in particular, though, is typically used by women in their 60s looking back at pictures of themselves in their late teens. That and men in their 60s looking at women in their 20s.
Seriously, what's your problem? I'm not in my 60s. I'm a young, healthy woman, unlike you.
Maybe not, but I think I know exactly why you're using that phrase. Let me guess. Jacob talks about you that way.
Oh. I guess he does, you're right. Isn't he great? He always speaks to me in such poetic ways. It shows how head over heels in love with me he is.
Head over heels? There's another phrase I don't think anyone's used for the last 20 years at least. Why are you letting some geezer have such a strong influence on the way you talk? Your friends your age are gonna laugh at you.
No, they would never laugh at me. Now, would you stop nitpicking every single one of my messages? You are so obnoxious.
Sorry, my bad. You know how women over 20 are. We just can't help but beat on women younger and prettier than us.
Well, at least you're self-conscious about it. And by the way, do not call my Jacob some geezer. He's the love of my life.
Oh, how could I be so insensitive as to call my husband, who you claim to be dating, a geezer? My deepest apologies. So, what do you want? Why did you choose to out yourself as my husband's mistress like this? What's your angle, Alyssa?
You want to know what my angle is? I thought that should be obvious. All I want from you is to admit that you've lost, divorce Jacob, and let me have him.
Wait a minute. Are you going to sit there and tell me that you want to marry that pathetic old geezer?
What did I just tell you about calling him that? I mean, what the hell is even going on with you? What's up with your attitude? Calling your own husband a pathetic old geezer? I mean, you're supposed to be his wife. You are his wife, aren't you? For real?
Yep. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but the truth is that I've known that Jacob has been cheating on me for quite some time now. But to think a man his age was fooling around with some little girl who's not even old enough to drink yet? Yuck, it just makes me want to puke. Tell me, how was your trip to Hawaii? Did you make it all right? Have you settled into your hotel yet?
You knew about that? Well, that's weird. He told me you were completely in the dark. But, oh well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. Yep, we're in gorgeous Hawaii right now. But you want to know what the best part is? We paid for the whole trip with your credit card, you stupid old hag.
What?
That's right. We're gonna have the trip of a lifetime using your money.
Wait a second. My credit card? You mean you took the credit card out of my wallet and took it with you to Hawaii?
Oh, don't look at me. I didn't do it. It was all Jacob's idea. He's the one who took it while you weren't paying attention. And he is generous enough to let me use it to do all the shopping I want. I might even pick out a wedding dress while I'm here. I have a huge list of things I want to buy, and you're gonna pay for all of it.
Goodness gracious, it seems like you're completely unaware of how credit cards work.
Huh? What are you talking about? I'm 20 years old, not 2. Everyone my age knows how to use credit cards. You take your items to the register, swipe the card in the machine, and poof! Like magic, it's all yours. What else is there to understand? That's literally how credit cards work. Now, if you'll excuse me, Jacob and I just got done with a long plane flight, so we're gonna go ahead and lay down in bed. Don't worry though, we're not sleeping together. As a matter of fact, I think we're gonna stay up all night long.
Have fun, I guess. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Hello, Granny. Oh my God, we are having so much fun with your credit card. How does that make you feel, huh? Hey, are you there? Hello? Seriously, Liana, I know you're super duper jealous of me and your husband, but why won't you ever message me back? You're way too old to be acting like such a little brat, you know that? It's like really lame. Oh well, I'll go ahead and write a list of all the things I've bought with your money so far. Here it goes.
Alyssa, was it? Look, I understand that you're very young and inexperienced in the world, but you graduated from high school, didn't you? You're going to college at least, so you can't be telling me you've never heard of time zones.
Huh?
It's the middle of the night over here. If you'd like to gloat over stealing my husband away from me, then could you please look up what the time difference is between here and Hawaii and message me at a more reasonable time?
Oh, shut up, Granny. I'll message you whenever I want to. So anyway, here's the list of all the stuff you've bought for me.
Do you really think you're hurting me at all when you call me old Granny or whatever? I may have just about a decade on you in years, but first of all, that's hardly enough of an age gap for you to be calling me old. And second, I am not now, nor will I ever be ashamed of the fact that I have more experience and knowledge than you.
That sounds exactly like what an old woman would say.
Right. Well then, moving on. I've been trying to contact Jacob for the last few days to ask him when he plans on coming back from Hawaii, but he's not responding to my messages. Looks like he hasn't even read them. I assume that means he's blocked my number, so I thought I'd go ahead and confirm it with you. Are you planning on being back within the week? Like Saturday evening or something?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, wait a minute. Is that really all you care about, when he's coming home?
And one more thing, I decided to stay over at my parents' house for the time being.
Okay, and?
I'll leave the divorce agreement I had my lawyer put together on the table. Have Jacob look it over, sign it, and then the two of you are free to do whatever you want.
Really? You mean I'm gonna get to live in your huge mansion?
Mansion?
Finally, I am so happy. You're finally getting out of our way. Me and Jacob can finally be together.
Oh, and one more thing. I'm suing the both of you for your affair, so be prepared for that.
Oh, really? Whatever, that's cool. Go ahead and sue us for however much you want. It won't make any difference to me. I'll just pay whatever the bill comes to with your credit card.
You're gonna try to pay me with my own credit card?
Duh, why wouldn't I? Anyway, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later, Granny. I need to get back to the bedroom. Jacob's waiting for me with a massive plate of room service that you're paying for. I think the fact that I don't have to pay for any of this food makes it taste even better. Bye-bye.
Oh boy. Well, have fun, I guess.
Hey, what gives? I just tried to use your credit card, but it didn't work. What did you do, Liana?
You're just now figuring that out?
I knew it! I knew you were behind this! Tell me what you did!
Yeah, about that. I called the credit card company and had it deactivated days ago.
You what?
I knew just as soon as Jacob left the house to head to the airport that he had taken my credit card with him. He apparently just has too big of an ego to realize that I was aware of every single thing he was doing. It was clear that he was intending to rack up a massive bill at my expense, so I made the call immediately to report it stolen and have it deactivated. I'm just surprised it took you this long to notice.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I was using it with no problems until a little bit ago. What's going on?
Remember a few days ago when I told you that you don't understand how credit cards work? Unauthorized use of someone else's credit card is illegal, even if the person using it is the owner's family member. That includes spouses, too.
Are you serious?
And the person who uses it is responsible for compensating the owner for every last cent that they spend. Again, it doesn't matter if they're married to the owner.
Oh no, I had no idea.
Come on, girl, really? What did you think a credit card was? Did you think it was like a money tree or something? The money just magically appears out of thin air? Are you really going to college with a brain like that?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I didn't think about it that much.
By the way, does Jacob have my credit card right now?
Yeah, I think he does. He said that we'd be in trouble if we lost it or something, so he's been holding on to it.
I see. Well, it looks to me like he's been paying for everything you've bought over there with his own credit card, not mine.
What?
Let me explain this to you in the simplest terms possible. Jacob took my credit card along with him on the trip because he didn't think I would notice. However, I did notice, and I moved immediately to report it stolen and have it deactivated. This put him in an uncomfortable situation, though. You, his mistress, were overjoyed at the prospect of not only stealing my husband, but also stealing thousands upon thousands of dollars from me. There was no way he could tell you that his master plan failed and that you would no longer be able to live large on his wife's dollar.
So, you mean...
So he lied to you. He told you that all of that money was coming out of my pocket when he was actually just using his own card. He put on a front just to impress you and make you happy. And now that you're about halfway through your trip, you finally exceeded the credit limit on Jacob's own credit card. The credit card company shut it down on their end to keep you from going any further over your limit. That sounds about right to me.
Wait, are you telling me that Jacob has already spent all of his money on our trip to Hawaii? That he's penniless now?
Did you happen to bring any cash with you, Alyssa? You might need it.
No, I didn't bring any money at all. I figured that we were going to be able to use your credit card the whole time. I had no idea this would happen. And I have never had a credit card of my own. My parents have been paying for all my college expenses.
My, oh my, you are in a world of trouble, aren't you?
What am I gonna do now?
Like I know, you two lovebirds are gonna have to figure out a way out of this mess by yourselves.
What? You have to help us.
What is it that you want me to do about your situation, Alyssa? I'm not in Hawaii. It's not like I could just walk over to your hotel and hand you a stack of cash.
You can mail it to us or something.
Uh-oh, looks like my phone is running out of battery.
Hey!
Gotta go charge my phone. Enjoy the rest of your trip.
Wait, you can't just leave me like this. Liana, send me some money. I want a new pair of shoes. This cannot be happening. You call this a house? This isn't a house. It would barely even pass for a storage shed.
I'm glad to see you managed to get back home without issue. Tell me, whatever did you do for the last half of your trip without any money? I'm curious how you managed to get by.
Nothing. That's what we did. We didn't set foot outside the hotel room for the rest of the trip. The only reason we didn't starve is because Jacob booked us a meal plan along with the hotel. If that wasn't already paid for, we'd both be nothing but shriveled husks by now.
Oh, that's great. Just goes to show you every cloud has a silver lining.
This isn't a time for glass-half-full platitudes, Liana. I asked you a question. Now answer me. What the hell is up with your house? I thought you lived in a massive mansion next door.
Huh? Oh, that house. Yeah, that house isn't ours. That's our landlord's house.
Your landlord?
So that's where you were confused. I was wondering what you were talking about when you mentioned living in a huge mansion.
I don't understand.
Our house was actually a guest house that our landlord built on part of his property. He didn't use it very often, though, so he had it renovated slightly into a standalone house and put it up for rental. That's why there's still that fancy stone fence wrapping around it. He only cut out a little bit of it in order to build a driveway. A lot of people who come by make the same mistake you did and end up going to our landlord's house looking for us. The address is almost exactly the same. The house number is just 310 instead of 312.
Oh no. Oh, this can't be happening. So, Jacob's not a rich guy living in a huge mansion?
Nope. He's just a mid-level employee at a mid-sized business, earning an average salary and living in an average-sized house. There's not much about him that isn't average. For the record, I actually make a little bit more money than he does.
No way!
Yes, Way, believe it or not, it's the truth. So I'm sorry to say, but you most likely won't be able to count on him paying your upcoming legal bills for you. You're gonna have to manage somehow on your own. Good luck!
What?
Oh, and one more thing. You don't need to waste your time telling your parents about your situation. I already contacted them for you.
What did you do that for?
I thought they might like to know what their daughter was doing with her time while she was supposed to be attending the college classes they were paying for. They felt so terrible about everything you've done to me, it was almost painful to watch them apologizing so profusely. They told me they weren't going to stand for this behavior from you and that they were going to pull their financial support. Oh, and not just for your college tuition, they said they wouldn't pay your legal bills either.
You mean I'm gonna have to drop out of college?
Well, that's a decision you'll have to make for yourself. Anyway, anything else you'd like to say to me, you can say to my lawyer.
Your lawyer?
I'm no good at explaining things to people with an IQ lower than room temperature. I think the details on what will happen to you next should come directly from a professional. Consider it an important part of your civic education. Not many people get first-hand experience with courts, lawyers, and lawsuits at your age.
I don't want that kind of experience. I want fun.
I bet you had plenty of fun in Hawaii, for the first part of your trip anyway. And with that, I have nothing more to say to you. Goodbye, Alyssa.
Hey, wait, you can't do this to me!
That evening, Jacob and Alyssa got into a massive argument about, well, just about everything. It got so bad that the neighbors ended up calling the police because they thought there was a domestic fight going on. This was too much for our landlord to deal with, so he immediately started eviction procedures. As for Alyssa, her parents came into town to pick her up and took her back to live with them on their farm outside of the city. Just as they had promised me, they cut off her funding, leaving her completely incapable of paying for her college education. She dropped out, and with no other job, they forced her to do the thing she hated most of all: manual labor. Perhaps somewhere between the sweat, dust, and manure, she'll learn a lesson or two, but I'm not very hopeful. A few months later, Jacob called me and begged me to take him back. Apparently, once his parents found out about precisely why he and I got divorced, they were so furious that they disowned him as their son and wrote him out of their will. Between their extravagant Hawaiian vacation and his alimony payments to me, all of Jacob's savings have vanished into thin air. And since all of his friends had abandoned him as well, there was no one else that he could turn to but me. Unfortunately for him, I was already seeing someone else, so I turned him down. Don't get me wrong, though, I wouldn't have taken him back even if I was single. As soon as I told him that, his end of the call went completely silent for a few seconds, followed by the sounds of him crying at the top of his lungs. I hung up the phone to let him sort out his emotional issues by himself. With him out of my life, I have found peace for the first time in as long as I can remember.